Professional masked wrestler Genzo Shibata fights his wrestling rival Macadamian Ogre, known professionally as Mao, for the title of world champion, but plans to retire immediately afterwards to open a pet shop. Princess Altina Elgardrades summons Genzo to a fantasy world to help defeat the Demon Lord by killing evil beasts infesting the kingdom. Princess is knocked out by Genzo's German suplex, and her pants are exposed before fleeing. Misha and Wolfgang, two notorious criminal beastmen, plot to capture and sell Genzo as a helpless slave for profit. Genzo, a devoted animal lover, gently overpowers Wolfgang to nuzzle his soft fur. So, Genzo decisively defeats Edgar with a powerful German suplex and successfully rescues Shigure, who then explains that she owed Edgar a substantial amount of money and offered herself as a slave to settle the debt. To avenge Genzo, Edgar plans to steal Hiroyuki. Shigure takes Genzo to the bustling Hunters Guild to begin work. The Guildmaster sends Genzo on a perilous mission to kill the dangerous Cerberus pack. But instead, Genzo bravely defeats and tames the entire group, earning him the fearsome moniker Beast Killer. Instead of killing the evil creatures, Genzo chooses to capture them and sell them as exotic pets instead. Along with a giant ant creature that Genzo befriends, Shigure also owes a significant amount of money to Genzo for purchasing a shop to sell rare beasts in. Genzo forcefully hurls a hunter, who mockingly calls him a beast killer, through a wall. After discovering that they will be killing a fierce, fire-breathing salamander, Genzo knocks Heat Heizi unconscious, while Shigure cleverly finds and plots to sell Heat Heizi's valuable sword for profit. Genzo skillfully collects the bright salamander and rewards it handsomely. Shigure repays Edgar, while Wolfgang fears Genzo. Lindabri Ufafnir Gilmarag, a noble girl who is half human and half dragon, weary of the taste of beast meat, decides to flee her home in search of exciting new foods. Orcs stealing crops becomes increasingly urgent as Genzo eagerly adds to his growing beast collection. Carmilla Vanstein, Linda Bria's vampire maid, finds her missing. Genzo confronts the Orc King in their stronghold. After a very close and intense fight, Genzo ultimately wins with his trademark German suplex, earning the king's deep respect and his promise to keep his orcs away from humans. Genzo uses his hard-earned reward money to purchase a shop, but he struggles to secure a bank loan to launch it. Linda Brea arrives. Genzo plans to open a pet shop with Shigure and his ant beast friend, but feeding the pets is prohibitively expensive without a bank loan. Genzo discovers Linda Brea unexpectedly in his garden and reluctantly must feed her to prevent her from attempting to eat his dog. Genzo discovers that a fierce dragon has been terrorizing local villagers, prompting him to take action and capture it, while Shigure stumbles upon Heihai's new sword. Genzo disguises himself as a wrestler and sets a trap for Linda Brea. Hunters mistakenly believe he is a masked pervert who is abducting a young girl. Carmilla confronts them, thinking Genzo is a pervert kidnapper. Genzo outmuscles the powerful Carmilla and flees. Linda Brea explains that her family is one of the 4 noble families that directly serve the powerful Demon King. Carmilla unexpectedly reappears but fails to recognize Genzo. Genzo uses holy water and garlic to neutralize Carmilla, while Linda Brea explains her food-related fight. Genzo hires her to work in the shop and calls her Hanako because it is easier to pronounce. When Genzo discovers that the dragon attacking innocent people was actually Carmilla, who was secretly sucking their blood, he fiercely German suplexes her. Princess Altina, who summoned Genzo, is enraged that her soldiers and priests no longer respect her and call her Princess Budix. Money is spent on Hanako's food, Carmilla's alcohol, and pet food. Shigure despairs. A bank representative visits them and tells them their loan will be denied unless they pay the down payment. Genzo insists that everyone work hard for their money, but their ridiculous antics drive Shigure completely insane as they cost more than they earn. He knocks out Heat Heizi for planning to kill the Griffin. While Shigure finds his new holy sword, Griffin parents force their babies to fight, leaving the weakest to die. To save it, he steals the weakest and takes it home, but he is quickly knocked out by Hanako. Carmilla, who was killed by an adult and eaten, is buried in Genzo's garden. Shigure is feeling less concerned than usual these days, because she recently made a small fortune by successfully selling all of Heat Heizi's long-lost swords. Macadamian Ogre had dedicated countless years to his wrestling career, and now Zhao is filled with rage that their long-standing rivalry remains unresolved. However, as time passes, he ultimately sinks into a state of deep depression over the situation. Shigure makes Genzo get a new job, so Misha and Wolfgang steal his dog Hiroyuki. After Genzo's ant beast friend cleverly thwarted Misha and Wolfgang's attempt to steal Hiroyuki, Wolfgang developed intense phobias of both Genzo and ants. The hunt ultimately fails when Genzo becomes distracted while fighting fiercely with Carmilla, allowing Hanako to eat all the mandrakes. After discovering that Hiroyuki was nearly stolen, Genzo impresses the local villagers by bravely wrestling a wolfgang. Their enthusiastic cheers remind Genzo of his past encounters and experiences with Mao. The Princess of Vampires, Joanna, has been granted permission by the Demon King to summon another Demon King from an alternate world to defeat the hero summoned by Princess Altina, Mao, or Demon King in Japanese. Mao is overjoyed to learn their target is Jinzo. As a result of their childhood rivalry, Joanna wanted to replace Carmilla with a vampire maid to gain an advantage over Hanako, so she had Rose defeat and humiliate Carmilla. Hanako avenged Carmilla's earlier defeat by successfully defeating both Joanna and Rose. Meanwhile, Hanako takes great pleasure in watching Genzo meticulously bury Carmilla in the garden, intending to resurrect her after she was tragically killed and devoured by another beast. A blue-haired girl shadows Genzo. Seals, a blue-haired hunter, approaches Genzo and is immediately punished for calling him Beast Killer due to Seal's inexperience. The guildmaster suggested she ask Genzo for help. Seals is a unique lizard man with vibrant scales on her back and stomach, Genzo agrees. But Genzo's enthusiasm tends to fluctuate significantly, depending on how much of her colorful, scaly body he is able to see. Shigure, Carmilla, and Hanako also make an effort to help out. Seals reveals she sought Genzo's training, because guild hunters teased her for being a lizard man. Genzo fiercely and savagely beats the hunters, while Seals finds inspiration in Genzo to improve himself. The hunters acknowledge their past mistakes and sincerely apologize, while Genzo assists everyone by insisting that Seals duels one of them. A perfect German suplex from Seals beats Carmilla's bad advice. The hunters claim they were increasingly frustrated because a mysterious new beast has been attacking them relentlessly and stealing their livestock, making it extremely difficult to earn money. Genzo, donning his animal mask and wrestling outfit, stands awkwardly as Shigure and the others realize that this entire situation is his fault. The bank representative, Klaus, approaches Genzo with detailed plans to organize an exciting fighting tournament aimed at benefiting Genzo's struggling shop. Genzo agrees. Missing wrestling, Klaus suggests beastmen instead of beasts in the matches. Genzo spots a kobold he finds appealing and chooses to invite her husband too. The husband, convinced Genzo is out to steal his wife, fights him, losing but recalling his youth as a warrior. Her husband has been taken away by Genzo the Kobold, and his wife is very upset. Genzo attempts to ask Wolfgang for assistance, but he remains deeply traumatized, so Misha steps in to help, and Genzo enlists orcs and hunters. A mysterious hooded figure silently watches the match from afar. Upon learning of the tournament, Princess Altina recognizes Genzo. Despite Genzo's complaints about the lack of drama, the matches start well. Misha and Heidheise join forces with their allies Genzo and Carmilla. Wolfgang, the mysterious hooded figure, is now forced to replace Hedis. Shigure admits that the rivalry between Wolfgang and Genzo is entertaining. Genzo molests Wolfgang for 17 minutes and 26 seconds, so Genzo declares the tournament a success. To pay for Genzo's damages, Carmilla's alcohol, and Hanako's food, Shigure loses her temper. Princess Altina tries to retrieve Genzo, but he German suplexes her, exposing her panties. Joanna tells Mao about Genzo's exaggerated victories over a griffin herd and an orc stronghold. Mao defeats a Hiroyuki-like dog beast, but reacts oddly to it. Altina reveals Genzo will defeat the Demon King. The King of Beasts surely can't be that bad, Genzo decides thoughtfully. Altina fiercely commands her loyal knights to eliminate Genzo, but in a surprising turn, Genzo defeats them and punishes Altina. Joanna hands Mao her Beastman army. Altina tries to persuade Genzo to be the hero, but is always punished. Genzo begins to wonder if meeting the Demon King would be worthwhile. Heidheise tries to join the guild, but is expelled for calling Genzo Beast Killer, while Shigure finds his latest sword. The other hunters believe that Genzo plans to kill the Demon King, and then proudly rename him as a hero. Hanako fears that she will face significant problems if Genzo becomes the hero, as her family has long served the powerful Demon King. Genzo takes punitive action against Altina for revealing to him that yet another Demon King has been summoned into their world. Mal bravely attacks the orc stronghold in search of Genzo. The orcs later show Genzo an intricate drawing of Mal, explaining that he is now the new Demon King. Genzo adamantly refuses to protect the innocent citizens, even if Princess Altina desperately begs him to. Genzo discovers that Hiroyuki is missing. Liao discovers Genzo's tournament poster and successfully tracks him down. Hiroyuki is currently at a grand noble's mansion, says Klaus. The noble reveals that he purchased Hiroyuki specifically for his daughter and will not return him. She firmly believes that if she successfully buys Hiroyuki back, Genzo will end up in debt and will be compelled to become the hero. In response to the situation, the nobleman reluctantly agrees to sell Hiroyuki back at her reduced price, which Shigure pays from her secret savings, earning Genzo's deep gratitude. When Genzo discovers that Misha, Wolfgang, and Edgar have taken Hiroyuki, he intensely lashes out in anger. Altina arrives carrying a large sum of cash, only to find that everyone has already left. Genzo returns home to find Joanna, Rose, and Mao waiting. In the midst of Rose, Carmilla, Joanna, and Hanako's petty bickering, Mao angrily interrupts and challenges Genzo to Joanna challenges Hanako, assuming Mao means an evil death match. Everyone agrees to include their fights in the next tournament. Carmilla secretly asks her friend Genzo to teach her wrestling techniques so she can finally defeat Rose. Genzo starts Carmilla's training. Klaus and Shigure enlarge the wrestling ring for a larger crowd. Genzo organizes a tournament with Ms. Gia, Wolfgang, and even the illustrious Princess Altina, with Genzo going head-to-head against Mao in the final thrilling match. After winning the first match, Heat Haze, Seals, and Altina wrestle demon beasts from Joanna's army, and Altina enjoys humiliation as long as her face is hidden. After that, Cobbled Husband and Orc King defeated Joanna's army Cyclops. Joanna's army of gorillas easily defeat Ms. Cha and Wolfgang are competing in the third match. Carmilla wrestles against Rose in the intense fourth match, and skillfully manages to throw her using one of Genzo's signature moves. Unfortunately, she celebrates her victory too soon, and Rose swiftly defeats her with a powerful German suplex. Denying it was a good match, Hanako commends her for fighting for herself, making it Carmilla's victory in her eyes. Carmilla weeps joyously with happiness as Genzo prepares to face Mao. Hanako warns Joanna that the Genzo-Mao match may not go as planned. Between violent wrestling moves, they manage to explain what happened and why they are both in this new world. Joanna and Rose worry their Demon King is stupid. Joanna and Rose cleverly steal Hiroyuki, forcing Genzo to comically chase after and retrieve him. The match ends with Genzo defeating Mao with his trademark German suplex. After their intense rematch, Mao happily agrees to wrestle once more. The hero army defeated the Demon King's army. Then Hanako warns Joanna that it is her duty to observe the hero, and she will not tolerate her interference. In the end, Shigure ultimately decides to let it go after witnessing how it has beautifully brought humans and beastmen together. She does make money by selling Genzo's trophy for the rare mithril it contains. Princess Altina eagerly anticipates the upcoming, potentially humiliating wrestling match, while Mao sets off to train diligently. Genzo secures a job handling a minotaur, and life continues on its usual course.